What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chevy.
And your girl Mo, and we are here with our new podcast called Manners.
And Mayhem, because you know I'm gonna bring the drama.
Oh yeah, we got some talking we want to do to y'all. We want to come back and it's been a while. How long, Chevy?
Can you believe it's been 13 years? So we initially started a podcast about 13 years ago called Table Talk. Before Jada Table Talk, we ain't copy Jada.
She might have stole our name.
Yeah.
We ain't saying allegedly.
But yeah, we decided to get back into it. So you never know what the show's gonna offer. Like I said, it's Manners and Mayhem. So you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, we got different topics. We want to just get out here and get with everybody, chop it up with y'all, and get some of y'all input. We just telling you, how we feel. Me and her talk a lot, so we was like, hey, we got to bring some other people in on these conversations.
So what you been up to lately?
Oh, nothing, girl. Working. A black woman got to work all the time, working hard, trying to make her bag.
How is it over there at the bank?
It's a new avenue. I'm learning. I'm glad. I got some things I want to share with y'all. I'm learning new money management, new ways to make money, grow money, save money, and have some money for when I retire and some for my kids.
Okay. Well,
how's it over there in that nursing field taking care of people?
Listen. It's the time. You never know what you're going to get. And you never know how your day's going to come. But at the end of the day, I love what I do. And I'm going to get up and do it every time.
I think you are an absolute great nurse. And since you became a nurse, every little boo-boo I get or anything I see wrong.
And I have to tell people.
Can you tell me what is wrong?
Girl, people message me and I have to remind them, like, I am not in OB. Like, if you about to die, I'm your girl. But all that rash shit, like, no, that's not my era. I don't do everything. I don't do kids. I do adults and I do critical care. So, yeah.
You have to add that little disclaimer when you call the doctor's office. If this is an emergency,
I promise
dial 911.
I promise you. So, what topic you want to jump in right now? Like,
I think I would like to go. I am a seasoned woman. Mm-hmm. And, I've been hearing a lot of parents, men and women, have grown children. And what I mean by grown children is that technically they are grown. However, we're still helping provide for them their lifestyle and taking care of them. So to me, that's a grown child. Now, when they're doing it all by themselves, they are then officially an adult. I mean, tell me, y'all, am I wrong for that? I mean, is grown children a good name? I mean, I think so. So I'm just wondering, like, when do we cut off our grown children?
Me personally, I don't think I'm ever at a point where I cut my kids off. As long as they need me and I'm able to tap in, I am. Even now, like, when we go on trips, I don't even. This is the first trip we're going on where my kids are paying for their trip, and my oldest are 29 and 26. Like, I usually pay for the whole family vacation, and I just don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay, so no, I don't see anything wrong with that either. If I want to initiate a family trip and I say, hey, let's do this, get the time off, yeah, I totally am probably going to pay for the majority of everything, the place we stay, probably most of the meals or whatever. Not that kind of when do we cut off our adult children. The kind of when do we cut off our adult children to where I'm still paying your car insurance.
Yeah.
Or we have a phone plan and I still pay your phone bill every month,
Certain things.
or I still have to pay your rent every other month. That's the part of when do we cut off our grown children, not the part of the leisure time, the fun things, because we love our kids. But at the same time, when do we say, hey, you got to figure this out? We had to figure it out. So
I think it's to each his own. And, the times are different. As like, I knew I had to get it out the mud early. I couldn't wait till I turned 16 because if I wanted the new J's at school, I had to be the one to get them because my mama couldn't afford it.
Right.
She was struggling to take care of 3 kids, and yeah, we had a stepdaddy, but they didn't make it the whole time. But like, these kids have way more access, and we make way more money than we made back then. Now, my son, I cut him off at 24. As far as his car insurance. But if he called me up, sometimes spontaneously they don't ask me for nothing. I'll hit their Cash App and say, get you some groceries.
Oh yeah,
You know,
that's
because
yeah.
sometimes, I raise strong kids, so they don't always tell me where they might be struggling and need something.
Right,
But
right.
that's just my way. But at the same time, they're all independent, so they
That's
don't need me a
good.
lot anyway. So the little things that I can do, I
That's
do.
good. That's
You know what I
good. So
mean? But some kids do need to be cut off.
yeah, because and like I said, and some of them feel like you are doing what you're supposed to be doing when you're still paying their car insurance. When my daughter got her first car, and she just assumed, oh, you gonna put me? I was like, no, ma'am. I made her pay her car straight cash because I was like, right now, with you trying to make it, you can't afford a car payment, so just get it where you pay your car insurance. And she just knew I was putting her on my insurance. I was like, you have to pay your own insurance, sweetheart. And she was really upset about that. She cried. She was like, all my friends, their parents got them on their insurance, and you want
Good for them.
no. I was
Good for
like,
them.
nah, we ain't doing that over here in this household. But like I said, I think if y'all know, speak to us, speak to some of the parents who may not know what is the healthy break.
Hit them comments up.
Hit the comments up. What is the healthy break to cut off your adult children? And when I mean cut off,
You having one child versus I have 5. So
yeah,
like
one child, but I raised 3.
But I mean, well, yeah. But see, you have to. Well, then on that aspect of things that you have to be a different parent for each child. Like I was a totally different parent for each one of my children.
Mm-hmm.
So like my son, my son is probably my first son. He's probably the child that needed me the least. Whereas the baby, she needs a mom more. It just depends on how mature the child is and where they're at. But as far as just cut off, mama gonna always be here.
Yeah.
But sometimes, you like I said, you don't want to be a crutch either.
Right. And I'm going to always be there for my children. I don't want to send a wrong message. I'm never going to not be there for my children. And definitely in times of need, I'm always going to be there for my children. And I've birthed one child, but I've raised 3 children, still in the midst of raising the last one. He's 14 now. And I have given each child everything in me, everything they could want, everything they could have. All of them got. Now, the first one, she didn't get as much because, that was my in the mud struggle days. The second one, he started getting a little bit more because I had a little bit more. I started making a little more money. Now, this last one, he got me at my most financial height, because I do have more to give him and more to provide to him. And there is a big age gap between the 3 of them. But yeah, I mean, my middle one, the boy, like you said, he just comes around every now and then if he needs something. He don't ask very much. The oldest, that's my girl, my one girl. She don't ask for much, and I'm not paying any bills for her. She's on her own, doing her own thing. But I just found that that was a conversation that came up a lot when we were out and whenever we bring our kids up.
Let me ask you something, because you said the same thing that I say a lot. My get it out of the mud kids, because like we was growing up together. I got pregnant at 14. I had my daughter at 15, and then my original plan was to go to the Air Force. Did I ever tell you that?
Wow, we had the same plan.
I was in ROTC all 4 years.
All 4 years.
And then at 18, me and my baby were walking across the stage together, child. Pregnant again. But I call them my get it out the mud kids is because, they were with me in the struggle. Mm-hmm. So does Jazz ever, both of us got a Jazz.
We both got a Jazz,
but do they ever say like, well, we ain't had that when we was little, or you ain't used to let us slide like that? Like your mama was broke back then.
Girl, I get it and all the time.
My outlook was different back then. Like I was in protect mode. I was strict, and I'm not strict with these kids now.
Yeah.
So, I was wondering, do parents hear that a lot?
Yeah. I get that from my Jasmine as well. More so with I let them get away with more than I let her get away with. But like I said, I was younger. She was my kid I had to grow up with. I walked across. I had her at 19. I walked across the stage. Big bellied and all that good stuff, and had her right after I graduated. So. Yeah, we made it through. But y'all jump in those comments, let us know, give us y'all vibe and y'all feedback on some of that. And it may be something we can revisit later. What you got for us, Chevy? What's
Let's
going
take
on
it
in
back.
that
You know
brain?
what? People, and you get this as well from people you're with, people I'm with. People always want to know like how we're friends, how we met.
Oh yeah, because we are.
Not knowing we got a lot in common.
Yeah, people look at us, and as y'all probably looking at us right now, y'all be like, they are two totally looking different people. How did that happen? But we met. We worked together. We met at a job, and we worked together. And when we wanted to do our first talk show back then, because it's been 13 years.
Yeah.
So when we wanted to do that,
She followed my crazy behind up.
I followed her up. I was like, girl, yeah. But the biggest thing was with me is I think we like 11 years apart in age. I think we like
I'm at that age. I don't tell my age no more.
So we about, well, and me being the older, so so we about 11, 10 years apart. And it's just me. I just saw a lot of me in her, meaning that she had opportunities that I wish I had support for to do at her age, but I didn't have that. And not saying that she didn't have support, so don't misconstrue that. But I just wanted to back that. She had such determination and such willpower, and I just wanted to back that. And I'm like a little sister. I'm a backer. I got her, and she had strong values. Like I said, we are so much alike, just in thinking wise and stuff like that. So yeah. And she been my girl since then.
Just to give y'all a little background, not that it's none of y'all business, but that's my dog. That's all you need to know. She ride or die. Is nothing I can't depend on her for. And the thing about it, which is not common, is that she is a great friend to all of her friends equally. I don't know how she do it, but she is there for each and every one of them. However they need her to do it, she make it work. And, that's one of the things I love about her. Like, she's very dependable, even with my kids. And that's one thing I don't play about with my kids. Like, she's helped me out with her kids, with my kids, anything, that I need. Yeah. So that's that. So we're bringing Manners and Mayhem to you guys because, for one, I wanted to jump back into podcasting. Because I don't even know if people were really calling it a podcast back then, because we just called it a talk show. I don't know. But,
a talk show.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to give it a try, because even when I do little things on like Snapchat and stuff, people are like, when you going to bring it? I can't even believe people really remember it.
They remember.
Even though it wasn't big, of course.
Yeah.
But, people like this. So, and I like to do stuff like this. If you know me, I like all things social media and content. It's just fun for me.
And we want y'all to show up, because we back now. We back bigger and better. And like I said, we got a lot of topics, a lot of worldviews, a lot of things that's going on, and a lot to talk about. I mean, and this is a safe space to express yourself. So like I said, jump in them comments and let's talk about it. We'll review some of the comments, and kind of like if it kick back some key big points, we have to revisit.
We may even have, episodes where you guys can suggest like things. We're gonna have like a Q&A type of thing, and just like different things. So give us a shot. We'll keep it cute, but we're gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
And
throw some topics at us too.
It may be your cup of tea. One episode may be your cup of tea. One episode might not be your cup of tea. But
we all got opinions.
Yes, it is.
So, just like I said, just get in here and hit us up. What you got on the brain next, Chevy?
I feel like, okay, we said we were going to discuss deal breakers.
Oh, deal breakers.
Some deal breakers. We didn't want to jump too heavy the first show, because we didn't want to scare y'all off. But we also want to reel you in too.
Want to reel you in.
So, just like, I'm going to ask you, because you're single.
Yeah, I'm single.
So, like, tell me some of your deal breakers.
I'm single. It's hard out here. I have to say that. And I had more of an opportunity to get married at a younger age. I had a couple of, opportunities, but I was also smart, because it's like I saw the future. Like, I knew this wasn't gonna work. I don't know the future, but it just didn't feel right. So I turned down a few opportunities, but now it's harder. So my deal breakers at my age right now, you have to at least have what I have. And what I mean by that is you have to have your own house paying your own bills. You have to have your own vehicle you have to be able to maintain a household because I can maintain a household. So you got to at least come in with that. Children, it's kind of up there a little bit because again,
Well,
I'm
they should be
seasoned.
grown. You
I'm
don't want-
seasoned. I don't want you coming
With no
and
toddler.
telling me you got a 2-year-old, and because you know what a 2-year-old says to me when you come to me. If their baby mama is not deceased, you coming to me saying that you got baby mama drama, and you got to deal with this woman for the next 16 years, and I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, from what I hear, the pool. I don't know how good the pool is no more. Like,
It's tough out here. It's tough.
So, well, I mean, but the things you said, though, I don't think that those are unreasonable things to ask for. Because, I mean, those are natural things you should have as an adult. Some people aren't looking for love. Some people looking for some way to lay their head now. So, you have to be leery of those things as well.
We had a conversation with the deal breakers. We were talking about like if I asked a gentleman, hey, let's go out, let's go for lunch or let's go for dinner. Because I asked him, some people feel like I should pay the bill because I asked him. I don't feel that way.
If you take me on a date,
I
expect to pay zero. I don't care who asks who. I expect to pay zero unless when my husband take me out, I don't even reach. Because that's just what it is.
Makes sense.
But I would think if I was in the dating world as a courtesy, like, I feel like a man should always pay. Now, I'm not saying I haven't paid before. I'm not saying I'm totally against it. But on a first date is what I'm talking about. I think a man should pay on a first date. I don't think there should be any splitting on the bill.
No, my thing is if I ask you out, and I'm going to make it understood that I'm going to pay the bill. Because I'm going to say, hey, let me take you out for dinner on me. I'm going to say, let me take you out. I'm not going to say, like if I ask you, I'll be like, well, would you like to grab dinner or something like that? Yeah, I'm asking, but I ain't looking to pay. But if I am looking to pay, I'm going to make it clear. Because that's one thing I don't want to send no mixed messages. And again, that might come with the seasoning in me, that good seasoning.
Right. And if,
So,
if
no.
I were in that situation, I ended up and they were like, okay, are we gonna split? I'll go ahead and split. I wouldn't even say nothing about it, but I promise you won't hear from me again.
Yeah, if you say we
shallow
split,
to some people, I really don't care. But
No.
I want what you want what you want, and that's just what it is. Like
Yeah.
some things, I just feel like first date is your first impression. So why you making me split the meal?
right, and I gotta know that you got that in you, that you got that. If we were to go further with this, maybe we won't go further. But if we were, and we are to take a second look at this and go a little further, I got to know that you got that in you. I mean, and again, like I said, when we go out, it ain't always that you may have to pay, but I at least got to know, like you said, first date, I got to know that that's in you.
Right, at least the first date. I ain't saying
Yeah.
they gotta always be like that, because you know you do take care of your man, you do treat your man, but that 1st date, I'm gonna need you to handle that.
Yeah, and if you
what if they card decline? How would you feel?
Whew, if they card decline, help Jesus.
How would you feel?
Woo.
Would you try to be like?
I ain't gonna judge them.
I wouldn't be a bitch about it.
No, I ain't gonna, and I totally am not gonna make them feel bad because life right now, life be lifing, and maybe something got moved around that he didn't realize or didn't catch. Happens to me, So we are human. Life be lifing, and I ain't gonna judge him. And
That's
I
the
probably
only
won't
way.
make that. I probably won't make that. Oh, I ain't talking to him no more. He need to lose my number. But he better be coming off like he ain't got to tell me, but he better be coming off like
If they
my
ask me
bag.
and
You
they
know,
going-
you got this. I'm gonna make sure I get your money back you tomorrow. Woo, woo, woo. It's
Now,
all
if they
good.
card decline, I'm gonna feel bad. So but like if you ask me on a date, darn well you ask me, you gonna tell me you paying half? Nah, I ain't with that. I feel like that's a little bit disrespectful.
No,
And deceitful
don't
in a
do
way.
it.
But if you're the card client, then I'm like, oh. And I
Yeah.
might go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what nobody going through, but don't ask me out and you can't take me out.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Make
know,
sure make sure your cash flow is together. But it happens, and like I said, life be life, and not just for women, but for men as well. You know, I think, and we went back and forth about who has it harder with asking for the date, the men or the women. You
men
know,
don't have it hard at all.
being scared of being turned down. I think women have it harder because if I come out of my comfort zone, one is being a woman, and I get bold enough to shoot my shot, as you men like to call it, and I ask you out, and you turn me down. Yeah, that's gonna be hard. I probably won't be doing that no more anytime soon.
Do you think men like when you shoot your shot, or do you think they feel like, well, damn, you aggressive? Like it can kind of
I
go either
think
way.
you're right. I think it's a mix. I think I try to read them first to kind of know like if he that type of guy that likes a strong independent woman. I kind of try to, before I even go that far, I try to kind of read the room, as they so say, get the vibe. And if I feel like he's that type of man that like an independent woman and he hasn't got up the guts, maybe he want to ask me and I haven't, I would. But if he looked like the guy that's just like, nah, let me take the lead, whoop, 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 I probably wouldn't do it because, you know, and I am independent, so I might not be anybody that he would want because I am strong, you know, but not so strong that I'll bow him over, but I have my own ideas, my own opinions. I'm a strong, independent woman.
It's hard being an alpha female.
I am all day
And
a alpha
sometimes
female.
I try to turn it off, but it really gets hard, and I have to be like, girl, because I'm
See,
so impatient. Like I get out there, I'm like, okay, I Google how to put my own tie on or something. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
So the thing is with that
Like I get
is
impatient.
you're married. So when and how give this to our alpha females, when do you need to be submissive? Because there are times to make the marriage successful and continue. Us, the alpha women, got to know when to back down. So when do you be submissive for your husband to realize that he is still the head of the family?
Well, sometimes I am submissive. You know, it just depends on what's going on. And one thing about me, like I love to be rescued. Like that just turns me on. Like if, like if my car break down side of the road, baby, you better come get me. You hear me?
That's right.
Because
That's
if
right.
you don't, I'm gonna be like, I love a man who know how to do something, know how to fix something. You know what I mean? If my light bulb go out, you know what I mean? Get up there and put it in. Don't be, I can't stand nobody who's lazy. Like, I just want you to, I feel like if a pipe bursts in a house, if you don't know how to fix it, you better be calling somebody to get there and do it within that. Just make something happen.
Right.
That's what I
agree.
need you to be.
I agree. I feel like, and I say that, and I've not been in a situation because I'm not married, but I feel totally like just because of my views and my morals and how I feel like if I get that husband and he husband in the right way, I can be submissive and I can allow him to take the lead. I'm like that in life. I mean, I don't have to be upfront. I can, if you're a good leader, I can show you just how good I can be a follower. But you got to be leading me to some good stuff, to some right stuff, some smart stuff, and some good things. Yeah, because I mean, I ain't, you got to be able to lead.
Well, let's back it up a little bit because you know, I'm gonna bring the mayhem. I got manners too, but I'm gonna bring the but this is something I just want to know because I feel like, you know, we're adults. You know what I mean? This is a new age. Like, so when you're going out with somebody that you've never met, how do you know when it's the right time to get intimate? Like, is there a time frame on that? Or do you feel like if it happens on the first date, or do you feel like you should get to know? Like, what are your thoughts?
The first thing a man is gonna come. Well, not all men. Now let me keep this clear. I'm just some general. The first thing they love to say, if they want to do it on like the first date, second date, or whatever, they'll be like, "We grown. Is this something we both want to do? We can do it." Okay, that statement is very, very true. So to my sisters, what I say is to make sure that is exactly what you want to do. To make sure that if you do that, you got to remember And it could go there's some choice, some situations where it can be like, oh, that's the love of your life, boom, y'all in love forever. But again, just know who you're dealing with, and just be sure that if it doesn't work out, you can say, I don't feel no ways about it, because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to jump in, give him some, boom, I did it. And be all right with that in the morning. Don't be like, oh, I can't believe I did this, and feel some way about it. And if he don't call you back, be sure that that's what you want to do, if that's what you do.
Yeah.
I
think we're going to have this conversation one day when we invite a man, and get their opinion on things.
Yeah, see what he's feeling
like
about
said,
that.
People are so, like, I think this day and age, people are just not who they appear to be. Some try to be what they think you want. And, you just got to be leery of those things. But I think, at the end of the day, of course, it's your decision. I mean, I'm not going to even front. My husband, we've been together 26 years.
Yeah.
And he hit it on the first day. I mean,
that's why I said there's those cases where
it happened.
It will happen.
And
True
and
indeed.
And it survived that. So, it just depends on, I mean, of course, I was 18 at the time. Mm-hmm. I don't know, present day, if I were single, how things would go. Because, I mean, you don't know who like what and what, it's just a little different.
I feel like, me being single, I feel like if you, because we talking about this season again. I feel like if you come at me on the first night, you ask me out on the first night, and you ask me, well, can I get some or whatever? I feel like that's the stance of the relationship. You don't want to know me. You don't want to get involved with me. You just want to have sex. Yeah, you just want to get it in. So
you gotta take it.
I feel like if we go that road, I'm gonna be like the guys. If I decide and I feel like you attractive enough and I'm feeling good and I want to woo, guess what? I'm losing your number. So you don't have to worry about me calling you back.
Now, granted, he did come to my job every day for about a week trying to get me to give me his number. And we talked on the phone a little bit before we finally went out. But yeah, the first day, it went down. It ain't like he met me the first day and we went out, but it's still first day's first day.
First day.
But you make your own decisions and
y'all got it. Y'all tell us out there, what y'all do. Help a single girl out. Is that okay? Steve Harvey always preaches on his talk show, about on radio about this 90-day holding out before you give up the cookies. Is that realistic, people? I mean, is that a thing? Are we waiting 90 days? Are y'all out there waiting 90 days? I mean, what's going on? What's popping,
Do you think character outweighs, like, the intimacy part? Like say...
Character? What do you mean? Like,
say it wasn't hitting on nothing. You know what I mean? And do you think you could still continue to, like... Would you go off just that first impression of just the intimate, like, you know what I mean?
As a woman, I think my last relationship that I was in, I think if you're into the person, I think it makes the do better. Mm-hmm. Is that okay to say? I think it makes the intimate part. I think if you're into the person and they are like you into them, just who they are, I think it makes the bedroom more delightful. I think women love with their minds and their hearts, and I think that just sends the flow. I mean, I think in some cases, not all, but I think in some cases.
Okay.
Yeah. So, tell us what y'all think, help, as they so say, help a sister out. What you thinking?
Girl, my mind all over the place, but we're going to say that for another episode. But, just wanted to know, I just be interested in, like, thoughts on, from a single person standpoint.
I get that.
Because I know a lot of times, sometimes I vent to you and you're like, girl, because, I be having my stuff.
Yeah, but
and you be like, all right, the single world ain't all that.
It ain't all that. If you got the chance to make it work, and I recently, a while back, I dated a guy. He was recently divorced, And he said he didn't like, he was like, I don't like going to the grocery store alone. I don't like coming to an empty house. He was not good at being single at all. And he didn't realize that until it was too late. So he was really out. His intention on dating was finding his next wife because he did not like being alone. So early on, I was that friend that'd be like, in the beginning when I was younger, man, he ain't doing right. Leave his blue. But now I'm just, I know better now. Like, is it something you can work out? What can y'all do to like make it go there? You know what I mean?
So, do you believe in staying in a marriage for the sake of the kids?
No, not if you're arguing in front of the kids, not if you're abusive in front of the kids. Absolutely not. Because I think you are hurting the kids. And I think it's when you need to sit the kids down and be like, hey, we not getting along, but we still love you. Kids deserve two parents together or apart. And as long as you guys are going to be two parents still, and y'all can still be in the same room when it comes to going to games, school functions, and different things like that, I say, hey, break it up. Go be happy. Just make sure that, you guys are still parenting the children. Stand together for the kids? Absolutely not. Because that's a miserable world and a miserable life.
Well, what I found, because in nurse land, and I'm sure it's the same on other jobs as well, but it's a lot of business being put out there, and baby, you tell it, hey, I'm gonna listen. But a lot of of the problems are usually finance, infidelity. Those are usually the top two. And a lot of the nurses that I work with are like the breadwinners. So a lot of that comes into play as far as insecurities develop. And there are a lot of stay-at-home dads too, which I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. If
It's up
that's
and
what you
coming.
do.
It's up and
Because if I'm
coming.
making money like that, I ain't tripping. I mean,
It's up and coming.
we
And
getting up in age too. Like if somebody's making money like that and somebody can't stay home or don't have to work, like it's to each his own.
I back in my early 20s, early mid 20s, I dated a guy. I was in love, and he did not work. And I had to find a way to convince myself to date this non-working man. He came up with, he had an incident where he gotten hurt, so he was applying for disability. That's why he wasn't working. But I had to talk myself, because again, I was head over heels for this guy, and I had to talk myself into saying that, well, it's a thing now. People are letting the guys stay home as long as they're taking care of the house and taking care of your needs. Then you can go ahead and be the breadwinner. And I did it. I did it, and in that process, I taught him how to clean house, get things done, and everything. And he was great at it.
Did he ask you for money?
He didn't necessarily ask me for money, but he wanted things. And I gave him those things. And one day I told him infidelity was going to be the deal breaker for me at that time, because I'm not going to be out here taking care of you and both in the house and outside of the house. He didn't do right. He slipped up, so I couldn't take it anymore. So one day I just was at home, and I was leaving to go to work, and he walked me to the door, and he said, "Okay, baby, have a good day at work." And he turned around and went back to bed in my house. And I had that didn't sit right with me. I turned around. I left. I turned my car back around. I was like, I went back in the house, unlocked the door. He was in the shower. I was like, "You gotta go." He was like, "What?" I was like, "You gotta go." Just that quick. I had to cut it off. It just was. Nah, I couldn't do it no more.
Do you think in today's time, era, whatever you want to call it, that infidelity is still a deal breaker for you?
Nope, it's not. I don't. Now this time, it's not a right away deal breaker. Circumstances and situations totally have to be viewed. And if I find out, now you might have done it multiple times before I found out, but once I find out, it has to be the end, because now I know, and I'm not gonna just sit and you continue on with that. Then that, I think then we change channels and we're in an open relationship then. So I'm saying something different. So no, if I find out that you were unfaithful in the relationship, the marriage, it's not a deal breaker, but continuously, yeah. Because like I said, to allow it to continue happening, then like I said, we moved into a different type of relationship at that point. You think
Gotcha.
so? You agree with that? What y'all think? Y'all agree with that? Because now they have so many names to these relationships. They have open relationships. They have what's the one they call
What?
where you got
Poly?
polyamorous relationships.
Yeah.
They got there's several names out there. So you're then speaking to different things of what you into. You can this man can have several wives and stuff. So
Well,
yeah,
I mean, to each his own. I mean, of course, I've experienced infidelity on both ends. I'm not an angel either. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely not a victim. I spaz out. I'm human. I know there's been recent, very current events that people can recall. And my thing is like I say, I'm not a victim. You're gonna do what you feel right in that instant.
yeah.
And when situations happen and people find out and they're messaging you like, oh, I'm sorry, and take this down and do this and that. And at the end of the day, it's like, baby, don't feel sorry for me because I cheat back. And
You get your lick back.
I mean, and that's where my mind was at that moment. I'm not saying that, it's something that can be condoned. I'm not saying, like I said, that I was at all innocent, because when you're with somebody, as long as I've been, you're gonna have up. I mean, what haven't we done? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Outside, we ain't never did no threesome night. With none
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you live and you learn.
So
You live and you learn, and you do block out all the noise. You
Yeah.
do what you want to do, and it don't matter who say what on, oh, I thought this happened and that. It don't matter, because at the end of the day, while y'all back they button heads or choosing sides, and we chilling.
okay, so
You know?
okay. Well, I'm you shared, and I'm sure our tune in people and listeners are wondering now, what do you do to keep the marriage going? I mean, once you've forgiven and you've moved past all of that, even what could have been the reason to cause you all, you, him, whatever, to step outside of the marriage. So what's some tips you can give our married people? One, how to get over that if they can, if there's a way. And two, what do you do to keep the marriage hot, to keep it spicy? Because like you say, you've been together 26 years. Like you, at this point, you get so used to each other. Like, what do you keep to keep the love going? Because a lot of times when the kids get going, like, do y'all know each other? Like, how do y'all still like each other?
I think you have to decide. Well, first you have to be real with yourself, and you have to decide what it is that you want. Me, as you can tell from, even if you don't know me from social media, like I'm pretty much an open book to some extent, and I don't care what people think. Like, so, it don't matter if I get cheated on, this XYZ, and if I want to be with him, that's what it's gonna be, and if I don't, that's what it's gonna be. So I think you have to, like I said, be real with yourself and quit trying to put on for like what people think, because people will put you in a perfect box. I never said my relationship was perfect.
Right.
So if you find out or see that something's going wrong, be like, oh, they act like they so happy. who acting? We were happy when we posted those pictures. It was a good day that day. We never made no bulletin board and say, hey, we're the perfect couple.
Right.
We're happy all the time.
Right.
You know, that's just the box that people see your life and they see you're doing good and they put you in these categories like you're not capable of having problems, and you are.
Right.
And you have to feel like, you know, do you want that? People don't know what the status of my relationship is at this point. You know
Right.
what I mean? Yeah, I'm married on paper, but people don't know beyond that if we're happy, if we're sad, if we're, you know, unless I choose to say whatever it is,
Right.
that, you know, for that moment. But I'm going to be who I want to be. And I'm at a point, especially after losing my son, where I want peace.
Right.
And, you know, my relationship is whatever I want it to be in that moment. So
Right.
when it comes to fidelity, you just have to make sure, infidelity, you have to make sure that you can, you know, you take somebody back, be sure that you can stand on that.
Right.
And you're not gonna keep throwing it up in their face. But if you know you can't get over it, then go ahead and move on and go on about your business,
Right.
and stop holding that person up when they probably can find love with somebody else or whatever the case may be. Don't be selfish.
Right.
You know, don't lie to yourself and be like, oh, we can get over this. And you know every time they cut the corner, you're gonna think they cheating.
Right.
Because it takes a hell of a lot to build trust back up. You
It
know,
really, really
you probably
does.
will never trust that person again.
Right. Right.
You know, and you have every right to feel that way.
I agree. I think that's good.
It's a case by case thing. You know, just do what's best for you and that person, whatever it be. But I think when children are involved, at least maintain respect and be friendly for the sake of the kids. Because no matter what me and that man may go through,
Right.
we 100 when it comes to them kids.
Yes, you are.
I don't play with him about them kids, and he don't play with me.
That's
I know
right.
if he say something with them kids, I don't care how mad he make me, I ain't going against it.
Yes, that's
Because
right.
that's just being respectful as parents, you know. And I know when it comes to them kids, he ain't fit to play with me, and I know better. Yeah.
True, my friend.
I've
This
never
is
been
true.
one of those to be playing dangling kids in front of people's face, baby. You can never make me mad enough where I'm gonna stop you from seeing these kids.
Yep.
That just can't happen.
And when you said the kid thing, that turns me over to this topic here. Why do women and men? I'm gonna say both, but you know, it's real known for women that when they don't make it in a relationship and they move on, why do some women hold the kids hostage because they are mad at that man? I think Mona, I think that is the wrongest thing to do, to hold them from wanting to see their children, and then you want to call them a deadbeat dad or no good dad, and you're being confrontational every time it comes to seeing the children. Women, what is it that makes y'all so mad that y'all don't want this man you was just in love with, that you had a child with, to be in their child's life?
Because there's a thin line between love and hate. That movie spelled it out perfectly. Like, you can love someone so much to when it mess up, that love turns into hate. Like, you can't stand them because
But the children, he gotta be.
they become pawns at that point. Like, I never understood it because I never did that. Even with my oldest two children, you know, before their dad died, like, he wasn't financially, you know, responsible when it came to them. But you know what? He kept them kids while I went to work, and I ain't had to pay no babysitter. So, you know, do something. I never put him up for child support. I'm not gonna make you take care of your kids because I'm gonna get out there and do what I need to do. But he spent time with them, and he did what he could.
And this is okay. But are you? I mean, I'm wondering, ladies, y'all chime in and let me know. Are you legitimately do not want the child to be with the father because you mad at him? You feel like the new girlfriend is gonna harm them? I mean, what's the reason? Why are you so mad that you don't want this man to be involved in his children's life? And why now, you know, you so mad that you can't open up that door to let him spend time with his children? I think it is unfair, and it is very important. Sometimes, and I've seen some cases where the women take better care of the kids than the daddy do when you do let them go, you know, because they're trying to get close to that man. So they're trying to do it through their children. So they're going to be great. I say, in my opinion, my child's father left early on and he went off and he got married. Now, am I mad at that? Absolutely not. I felt the way, yes, because when he walked away from me, he walked away from the child. And I had a problem with that because I didn't have her by myself. Every child deserves, and I stand on that, every child deserves both two good parents. That's going to be, I think it makes a difference in how it shapes them and molds them. And whenever he did, the one time he came around, he came with his new wife and he was like, he wanted to see her. Absolutely, sure. I took her over there and I wanted to lay eyes on her just in case some crazy stuff go down, because you got them crazy heifers out there. She going to see me. But as long as you being good to my child, absolutely, you can have those visits. Introduced myself, said hello, dropped their things off, and I was out the door. And I did not worry because, like I said, anything went wrong with my child, you're going to have to see me. So I didn't worry, and everything was good.
Well, luckily for my situation, I never envisioned myself to be somebody's sixth baby mama. Yeah, I'm like Cardi. And Cardi got that in common. And when I met him, he had 5 kids from 5 different women. And my mama said,
Wow.
one, he was like, I had 2 kids at the time. She said, he gonna make you have 5. And I did. But I never had no problems with them 5 baby mamas because they were never in relationships. They were messing around. They got pregnant.
Caught up.
And I think that was probably it because there were no feelings involved because they never really was in that kind of relationship. They were like cool. They messed around. They had a kid. So I never had no kind of baby mama to say it was 5 of them, girl. Like none. And that was a blessing.
Wow, that's good. And yeah, and your stepkids love you. They seem to get
Girl,
along
we have
pretty
our
good.
times.
Well,
now.
that's with
I ain't
everybody.
even
Now
feel
that's
like
with
that.
everybody.
We done been through it.
Look, now that's with everybody. You got your ups and downs, and it takes some
Yeah.
getting used to. But it is. But again, life, and I think if they had to take a whole scope of it all, and I've been around you all, if they had to take a whole scope of it all, they'd be genuinely say that they fond of you, they care for you, they love you. Yeah, and the whole scope of it all. So, listeners out there, y'all tell us, if you one of those baby mamas that's so angry you won't let your child see the father, hey, let us know why. Let's see if we can get some understanding behind it, or if there's something we can say to you to help you, loosen up and be comfortable enough to let that child go with the dad or vice versa, go with the mom, It's this one guy that I've been checking out on Facebook, and he is the custodial parent. And he refers to his children's moms as the monsters. And I haven't gotten into really what's the reason why he has all custody of all the kids. And I think a couple of them have some different mothers too as well. But yeah, what's up with that? What's the reason? What can change it? What can make it better? Chime in and let us know.
Well, girl, we done sat here and talked. We done ran it up. This is supposed to be like a 10-minute episode. We just testing it out. It's really no rhyme to the reason.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get to a point to where we're gonna hear y'all and what y'all want us to talk about. And we understand it's not live and you can't chime in, but we will, read some comments and respond accordingly until we get this thing narrowed out.
Who knows? We may go live one time.
Yeah, we may go live.
We might kick it and go live one time. Because we get some banter. We can get it going.
Give us your feedback on what we can do different. If you liked it, what you like to see more of, less of. And hopefully it's something you like. You're going to see us either way. So we'll be here. So
it's great. I
had fun. I enjoyed you.
I did. I enjoyed y'all company.
Felt like old times. All right. There it is. And Manners and Mayhem, y'all.
Manners and Mayhem. Let's bring it.
Bye.
See y'all later.